You see how close I was? It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's prettier than I thought it would be. Welcome to my channel. I'm about to start my second series I've ever done, which is gonna be a Gilmore Girls dress. It's gonna be the dress that Rory wears to her dance with Dean in the first season. I think this dress is adorable, and I also love that Lorelai made the dress. There's just something cool about that because now I get to make it. I'm a huge Gilmore Girls fan, and I know a lot of people out there are Gilmore Girls fans, so I'm hoping you guys enjoy watching this as much as I enjoy making it.
This is the first time that I'll be using a printed out pattern that I got from Etsy, and I'll leave the link in the bio. I had never done this before, but basically it just gives you like a map of where to put each of the pieces. And so this is me taping them all together and getting the shape down. After I'm done cutting all of them out, taping them together, I can start cutting out each of the actual shapes for the skirt and the bodice.
Good morning. It is a Saturday morning in August right now. Woke up extra early and I got up to sip coffee and watch Gilmore Girls, and basically I've peaked. I wanted to show you something that's gonna help me make this dress. If you go to season 1 and you go to the episode where Rory goes to the dance, oh, look at that smolder. Let's see. Eventually Paris has the same haircut as Dean in season 1. It's great. Okay, here's Lorelai making the dress. It's gonna fall on her, right? And when it falls on her, I'm gonna get to see all the layers underneath. Wait. You can see the lining. She flips it over, bam! It shows me the lining. It shows me that the lining underneath is light blue with a little bit of like purple in there. It shows me that there is a satin layer on the skirt, but that there's also a sheer layer on top. It's all flopped out in the open. You never get to see the under part when you try to recreate something, so it's so helpful.
Okay, so I'm about to go to Hobby Lobby. I actually haven't even looked online at if they have the colors I'm looking for Rory's dance dress. Hopefully I find something, and if not, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so not super successful. There was a couple that were kind of the right material, but they were not the right color. All the ones in there were like a darker blue, like almost like a navy blue / royal blue, and they didn't have that hint of purple in them. So nothing was good enough. Only thing I got in there was this thread, and honestly, this looks way more blue in the video than it actually is. This has some purple in it. You can't tell, but this is all I have to show from my trip, so it wasn't super successful. I was way more successful at crumble cooking. I debated even sharing if I was going to show you. I did not go out for cookies, but cookies I got. Not the most successful trip. I also got this thing at Hobby Lobby. Ain't it cute? This is one of those, you know, I look at what some people get and I'm like, you don't need that. What is she doing? Well, I did that today because I remember when I was a kid, I had one of these fake ones that was made out of like beads. I got it from Amish country, and I would carry it around the house wearing this little dress and pretend like I'm a pilgrim. And when the lights went out, big party. But now I'm a grown-up and I can do whatever I want, and this was $6, so I got this too, and I thought I could light it while I sew my fabric together. I found some old fabric that I'd used for a different Marilyn Monroe project, and I'm going to be dyeing this light blue to make the lining for it. The two that I'm going to be using are from Hobby Lobby, Sky Blue and Kentucky Sky. This is how I dyed my Barbie jumpsuit when I made it, using a bin and filling it up with super hot water.
We're using a tub, Walmart, and we don't really have a good stir, so it's between this ladle and the spatula. Probably shouldn't be wearing a white sweatshirt either, but it's funny. Add 1 teaspoon of liquid dish detergent. It's really not super clear on how much for every pound of dry fabric. I don't measure it by the pound. Use half a bottle.
we're just gonna wing it. This is what I did for my Barbie jumpsuit. That's what we're gonna do now. Okay, update. It's been maybe 5 minutes, and I'm no expert, but I think it's gonna be green. I'm gonna put more in. We're gonna move on to sapphire blue. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to put dye in once the fabric is already in. But again, I did that last time for something else, and it was fine. Is there a limit? It's been maybe like 10 minutes, and it's blue now. I guess I'll just do this probably 20 more minutes. Her lining that you get a good look at is kind of just like a sky blue. This is pretty close. Here's how it turned out. I'm letting it dry right now, but whenever it dries, it'll be a little bit lighter, and that's exactly what I was going for. And here it is dry. It's great. I love it. This is gonna go underneath the dress. This part is going to go on the bodice and the skirt. It is a bridal satin from Fabric Wholesale Direct. I'll leave the link in the bio. This fabric is also from Wholesale Direct, and it's sheer voile. I can't ever remember how to say that word. But here's what they look like together. So I'm to the point where I can start cutting. Whoa, did you see how close I was? I actually really like working with satin. I like how smooth it is and it doesn't get stuck on stuff. I know it has cons, but I do like working with it. Here's the bodice pieces. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even end up using all of the pieces that I'm cutting out. Some of them were for like support on the inside, like a partial lining. And since I was planning on making a full on lining, I didn't really need them. So since I'm kind of an amateur sewer and I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, I have never really like fully grasped the concept of circles, like having a skirt that's like a half circle, 3/4, or full. I mean, I kind of did, but this makes it so much easier. So the pattern calls for one that's 3/4, and so it's not a full circle, it's not a half, it's in between. This is what it looks like. This makes so much sense. I just didn't understand that. Y'all are probably gonna think I'm so stupid because I didn't know that, but I just hadn't put much time into that. Most of the dresses I've made haven't necessarily been a skirt. They've been like a dress that's all attached to the bodice, and the pieces that I cut are like from here down. So it's just been a little bit different. This makes so much sense. So here's all 3 layers together, and I just love how the top layer gives it more of a shimmer look like in the show.
You want to give this gift very carefully. It is a gift.
One of my favorite moments from this project was attaching the lining to the bodice because there's just something so satisfying about turning it inside out and then ironing it shut. It's so neat and tidy when you're done. I love it.
I just finished doing the lining. It's like the best I've ever done, so I'm really happy. I'm waiting on a zipper to come so that I can tighten this up a little bit. Hers is like skin tight somehow. And then the bottom isn't completely done. I haven't hemmed this to the right length. I'm definitely gonna have to make it a little shorter. This will probably be a great length for Rory Gilmore, but I am not a Gilmore girl. I am 5'3", so I'm definitely gonna have to shorten it a little bit. I have to actually attach these two layers together. I'm thinking maybe a little bit higher.
We're done. Can we go back to that beautiful bed?
You don't want to sleep on a park bench?
So here's what we have so far. She looks great. I love that shimmer. So pretty. I definitely love how they added a second layer over just the bottom. It's beautiful. It's swooshier and a little more fun. I tried to make the mannequin my height so that I could see what the best spot for the bottom to hit is.
Now that it's actually time to start cutting, I ended up cutting off 6 inches of the lining, 4 inches of the main fabric that goes around it, and then 3 inches off of the exterior tulle fabric part. The reason that I made that part a little bit longer on the outside is because I wanted it to hang off a bit more so that you could see it better. And as you can see, I eventually started getting tired and a little lazy, so it ended up being less perfect on the outside, and I just eyeballed it, but it's fine. It worked out. Looks good. Here's it next to me with my height. So I just added the zipper in the back. It's not like completely done, but I'm worried that I made it too tight. I don't really know what happened. Just really tight whenever I put it on the mannequin, and to be honest, it's not like I've been on the strictest diet ever. So I'm a little nervous about it fitting. So I'm gonna try it on, and I guess if it doesn't fit, we'll sell it, or I don't know. Come on. We can do this. Okay, we passed something. I guess the fat roll would be the proper term. Okay, getting there. Come on. I did it. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's prettier than I thought it would be. I haven't finished like the back, like it's still technically a part. Wait, let me take off the pants. Let me take these off too. Okay. Oh, it's so pretty. I just kind of want to leave it like this. No, I know that looks weird right now, but it's because I haven't finished making the top part. I know that these also have to be hemmed, but I'm gonna do that in a minute. I just can't. I'm so glad that it fits. I've been worried. I'm at the point where I'm gonna have to start figuring out how to do the actual off-the-shoulder look. I didn't have a plan for this when I started this project. So let's take a second and talk about how weird the shape is for the off-the-shoulder sleeve thing. First of all, I feel like they made it look a little bit weird on purpose because they wanted it to look like, well, I made it because it's homemade. However, that makes it really hard to duplicate whenever you're recreating it. So after lots of research and just looking through pictures up close of the dress on my laptop, I ended up just going with a sketch. I made it a little bit over 3 inches wide to start off with, and then I just cut that out to see if that shape would work. Okay, ignore Gilmore Girls, but is this like close to perfection? I think that it might be great. I might put it together, it might look good, but we're gonna try it. Turns out it did in fact look terrible. Okay, well, I guess it didn't look terrible, but it's just not gonna work because anytime I tried to put my arms up, like my hands on my hips, there wasn't enough give. So I had to experiment a little more with maybe making the bottom wider than the top so that it would have more of a curve. I ended up trying several different things and none of them were working. I believe I ended up making 7 different shapes before I found the one that worked. So lucky number 7 was the winner. I ended up having to realize I was going to have to curve the whole thing so that it would make a U shape almost, and since it would curve only kind of in the middle, that would give me enough room in the arms for me to put my arms up.
Big mistake. Big, huge.
This is how it looks so far. So the idea that I'm having right now is I'm going to try to, using the 2 layers that I've sewn together and then turned inside out, I'm planning on sewing just the bottom layer to the dress. That way, well, hers obviously like doesn't have a seam going through the middle or anything. So I was hoping about halfway through I could sew right here. And I'm hoping that this fabric is thick enough to where it'll just stand up on its own, because this is what it looks like. Like the top is not pinned down technically. I haven't ironed it or anything. And like, it's holding its shape okay. If not, adding this to the second layer is plan B. And I don't have a plan C. So if that doesn't work, I'm screwed. Oh, it looks so good. So here's what I'm dealing with. I have it pinned right now. I think I pinned it too low. So I'm planning on bringing this whole thing up a little bit more. And then honestly, after that, I'll just have to decide if I want to make this more structured or not. It still seems to hold it pretty well. So I'm thinking maybe I just leave it. It's a little bit higher up now. I think it's a pretty good length. She also wears this necklace right here that helps make this look like it's higher up. So I'll sew this on, then I'll close this up. We're gonna turn both sides of this inside out and make it like fold together like a pillowcase. This one has such a good spin. I love how this one spins. I feel like it looks really accurate to the one that's in the show. It's just so cool because this is like the most professional work I've done. And one of my sisters might even wear it to her prom, which would be precious. I will put it on. Come on. Oh, it's perfect. I love it so much. Oh, this is one of my favorite spins too. Of all my dresses, this is my second favorite dress to spin in. Oh, it feels so light and fluffy. Oh, I love it. And it is a good amount of like, to where I can put my hands on my hips if I need to. Or I can bring it back down. I'm so happy. I love it. I'll just be wearing this around the house from now on now. Yes.
So here's just a couple of things I would have done differently if I ever make this again in the future. I am not completely satisfied, I would say, with the off-the-shoulder sleeve thing. I think I could have made it a teensy bit less wide around the bottom so that it doesn't quite droop out as much. But honestly, I got it much closer to hers than I thought I would be able to, so I'm fine with that.
I need to get her necklace now and fix my hair and do like photo shoot somewhere. That'd be cool.
I also realized while I was editing this video that I had completely forgotten part of the dress. I forgot that I was supposed to add a hook and eye to the back so that I could connect the two sleeves together a little bit more so they weren't poking out quite as much. So just kind of ignore that if you see that part. I added that later, so it looks better now.